Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Right now it is 5 a.m. and just a week until Election Day, the races heating up statewide. Two men were caught red-handed while burglarizing a Whitley County home. Coming up, we'll tell you about the burglars. And an update on the condition of a UK cheerleader injured during last night's blue-white scrimmage. These stories plus breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning and welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your Tuesday. Pretty mild temperatures out there, and for the latest track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Boy, mild is right. I mean, it feels all right outside. It's not too bad. Those kiddos going off to the bus stop, you heading off to work. I think all things are just fine. First alert Defender live radar, and the reason being is we're still getting those winds pumping in here, and we'll have a breezy day. 15 to 20 mile per hour sustained winds. So you're going to be feeling that over and over again all day long. Gusts even higher than that. There's First Alert Defender live radar. Nothing on it now, but the front is starting to make its way toward us, and we'll be watching that move through later on. Temperatures are in the 60s. Really good feel. Maybe even a couple of upper 50s here and there. It's 73 by the afternoon. So one more day in the 70s until those showers and thunderstorms of that big time cold front wipe some things out. We'll really drop our temperatures with possible flurries on one big day. And I'll show you that forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
Wild swing there. All right. Deputies say they were caught red-handed. Two men are facing charges after being accused of breaking into a Whitley County home. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office arrested 28-year-old Wilkie Murray and 31-year-old Anthony Morgan. Deputies say they've also connected Murray to another crime. Police arrested the two at a home off Highway 904. Police say the two caused quite the hassle, saying Murray tried to run away while Morgan resisted arrest. Police say they could have caused a lot of damage had they not been caught in the act.
They removed wire from these residents, like in this residential burglary here. They were in the process of removing the wire, copper wire, which they probably wouldn't get over $75 for it because of $1,000 worth of damage to it.
Police say Murray is no stranger to them. He was wanted for similar crimes and is now charged in connection with another burglary in the same area. A former Franklin County teacher has admitted to having an inappropriate relationship with a student years ago. Carrie Staples Williams pleaded guilty to 2 counts of unlawful transaction with a minor. Investigators say in 2007 she had a relationship with the senior at Franklin County High School where she was a teacher. After graduation, investigators say the student told Franklin County superintendent, but prosecutors say the school district didn't report it at the time. Investigators say that student died recently. His mother found copies of emails between Williams and the student.
She had seen her son denied justice for so many times, and she wanted to make sure that Ms. Staples, now Williams, was finally brought to justice and held accountable for what she did.
Because of a 1-year statute of limitations, prosecutors couldn't go after the district for failing to report the case. Williams will serve 5 years supervised probation. She surrendered her teacher's license and resigned from Franklin County High School last week. Well, today marks just 1 week until voters head out to the polls, and that means candidates are pulling out all the stops in their respective races. Last night, the 6th District congressional candidates had their debate, and this week, some high-profile names stumping for U.S. Senate candidates. WKYT's Sean Moody at the live desk this morning with a recap of last night's debate and a look forward at this week's action.
Good morning, Rebecca. It really feels like this election's been a long time coming. We're now just a week out, and there's lots of movement in the races for the Senate and the House. Last night, Representative Andy Barr and his challenger, Elizabeth Jensen, debated at EKU. This was their second and final debate, and health care and wages were big topics. Jensen has been supportive of the Affordable Care Act and Connect, the state health care exchange, saying it's provided insurance to a lot of people who didn't have it before.
And I'm glad that thanks to starting this process with the president, we have health care. We've stepped forward on something, and it's a good thing, and I'm proud to stand up for that.
Now, Barr has pushed for the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. He says the health care law has cost people their jobs and pushed insurance premiums higher. While he disagrees on health care, Barr says he's willing to work together with the president.
I am ready to work with the president. I meet with the legislative liaison in the White House, and I'm willing and ready to work with the president in a bipartisan way.
There's also a lot of action in the Senate race over the next week. The most recent WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll showed Senator Mitch McConnell with a 1-point lead over challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes. They'll each bring in some high-profile help this week. McConnell is bringing in Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal for a rally in Louisville on Wednesday. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be with Grimes for rallies in northern Kentucky and Lexington on Saturday. Now, while the candidates make their final pushes for votes, you'll want to be sure you're ready. You can find your polling location at elect.ky.gov. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. The rule of the Fords is over for those in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. John Tory, a Conservative, won yesterday's mayoral election by 7 points. Tory beat out Ford's brother, Doug, who took his place after Ford dropped out of the race after learning he had cancer. But the outgoing Toronto mayor still has a job. He was elected to return to the city council. He says Canada is not finished with the Fords just yet.
And talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than words. Just watch in 4 more years, folks. All the best. God bless you. Okay? All the best. Thank you.
Still very spirited, that one. Ron Ford won his council seat by getting nearly 60% of the votes. We have some new information this morning on a UK cheerleader injured in a fall during the blue-white basketball scrimmage last night. We now know she's been released from the hospital and is doing all right. We also know that the cheerleader was sophomore Mercedes Laster from London, Kentucky, and still is. She fell during a stunt at last night's game and was fitted with a neck brace before being wheeled off the court on a stretcher. Well, 2 people had to be taken to the hospital after their motorcycle hit an SUV in downtown Lexington. It happened at about 7 o'clock last night at the intersection of North Broadway and West Short. Lexington police say the driver of an SUV turned against a red light, causing the crash. Police say both people on the motorcycle were taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening leg injuries. A central Kentucky town is moving to deny a cable service transfer. The city of Danville has approved an initial measure to deny the transfer from Time Warner to Comcast. This according to the Advocate Messenger. If the city ends up denying the transfer, the cable company and the city could end up in court. But the city manager says he hopes an agreement can be reached over some non-compliancy issues that have come up. Well, after months of waiting, today it is the big day. It marks the grand opening for a new Lexington restaurant. The Fayette Mall getting its very own Cheesecake Factory that opens today at 11 o'clock. I personally am pretty excited about that one. WKYT's Victor Puente is live at the new Cheesecake Factory for the very big grand opening. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning. Yeah, we're just 6 hours away from the doors opening here. They tell us they expect a line of people lining up to get inside when they do open at 11. Now, the 8,000 square foot restaurant is part of the Fayette Mall's project to fill the space left by the closing of Sears. Before today, the closest Cheesecake Factory was in Louisville. We got a look inside last week when they held a soft opening, but today the full 250 item menu will be available. Now, the restaurant has 275 people on staff. Some of them are already inside preparing for the big day. The restaurant's one of a couple of new ones coming to the Fayette Mall. Trevinia Italian Kitchen and Nuke's Eatery are also opening soon. Clothing retailers Vera Bradley and H&M are also coming to the mall as the mall reshapes itself in time for Christmas. Now, today's opening is just the beginning of that process. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Thanks so much, Victor, for bringing us those tasty details. It's time to check live drive traffic, see how things are moving on the roads this morning. Not really hearing about too many issues, and Broadway and High Street looking pretty clear, so no major traffic troubles to alert you to this morning. WKYT this morning is just getting started. Hope it's off to a good one. A house once owned by a famous Chicago gangster is up for sale. We'll tell you how much it is going for up next.
And we're looking outside, not seeing much go on. It's pretty calm, pretty quiet, but that will change as we head toward the afternoon and off into the evening. I will break down that rainy forecast coming up next.